I'd be personally in favor of delaying the draft so that we can get some of the work done that our scouts and our personnel people ordinarily do, and then just the logistics of trying to conduct the draft with you not having access to your draft rooms and your offices, creates a lot of logistic problems. This is not a fantasy draft that you conduct out there and with just a list of things on a piece of paper.
That's longtime Saints general manager Mickey Loomis on the Peter King podcast, available now wherever you find your podcasts. And Mickey Loomis, Chris, not the only general manager that would like to see the draft delayed. ESPN reported on Tuesday evening that the general manager's subcommittee voted 6-1 to recommend a delay of the draft because of the inability to get full information due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but also because it's not a level playing field with some facilities subject to closure and a stay-at-home mandate, so everyone's working at home. Other facilities have some degree of the ability of general managers, executive scouts to go and get that information and work in that setting that Mickey Loomis was talking about. So the NFL, which is rarely proactive and always reactive, apparently reacted to that complaint from the GM subcommittee by issuing an order last night that all team facilities will be closed. So it will be a level playing field. Everyone's forced to work at home through at least April 8th. That's just 15 days before the draft. And as to the suggestion that the draft be delayed, Chris, we saw it happen last week for free agency. They're not delaying anything. They're going to have the stage to themselves April 23, 24, 25. Nothing else in the sports world is going on. It is an equal hardship for all teams. It's going to be a test for all teams to make chicken salad out of a bad situation. And everyone's got the same hardship, the same advantage, the same disadvantage. There's no way they're going to delay the draft. They can crow all they want about it. The general managers, the coaches, the owners, it doesn't matter. They're not delaying the draft. They're going to go forward on the 23rd of April. I guarantee that.
Listen, if I'm a GM or working in the front office, I'm mad. I want the draft delayed. But, Chris Sims here, co-host with Mike Florio on PFD, and a football fan, damn, I want that draft to be at the end of April. I do. Yes, we need action. I think it'll be good for our country. I actually think it's going to be really interesting just to watch NFL teams kind of squirm their way through the draft with, some unknowns maybe for the first time. Now, it is tough. To Mickey Loomis's point, I get totally where he's coming from. You were talking about, making $1 million investments into people, and now you're not going to get a chance to meet some of those people and really figure out who they are. Scouts in certain regions, they're not going to get to do all their little due diligence and investigating behind the scenes to go, oh, let me see, Johnny's weight coach and see if I can get some dirt on him to see what he's really like as a person, or, Joey's, athletic trainer and see how he acts here accordingly, on a day-by-day basis. Those are things that are going to go out the window this year. You're not going to have as in-depth reports on some of these players because of the lack of, personal meeting time here right now. And that is going to make it very hard on some of these front office guys.
But here's what you do. You take the rules that have been put in place by the NFL and you get creative. This is where we're going to see the difference between the smart organizations and the not so smart organizations. Chris, I had this thought, they'll go to a convenience store that is in the neighborhood where a player lives, and they'll talk to the clerks. They'll see what kind of a guy. I mean, that's the kind of stuff they do. So what do you do now? You hire an investigator in that city if it's a guy you really want to find out more about. Instead of sending your scout there, you have to get more creative. You have to find other ways to solve the problem. Don't just say, oh, well, we're not going to have the information. You come up with other ways to get the information. You come up with other ways to assess the players. And that's the challenge. And we're going to find out who's good at it and who's not. And the NFL doesn't care. The draft is the ultimate reality show about nothing. They don't care that teams are taking risks. They don't care that they're going to draft somebody who's going to become a bust. They want to make it a show about the process of picking the players. And if anything, the uncertainty this year does make it more compelling.
It will. You're right. I mean, I would think the odds are that we see more busts this year in the draft because of that. Some, higher pick busts because you might not be able to get to do all the things you talked about. But yeah, you're right, Mike. teams better get creative. If I'm an NFL head coach and I want to draft like Justin Herbert, let's get on FaceTime and talk for a long time. But I'll be back at PFT with this crazy guy in a few minutes. We got to go to commercial.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.